You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Welcome back, everybody. And Crypto has joined us. Big day today as we're here to talk about James Gunn's Superman. Thank you to Amazon Prime. We all jumped on the opportunity to get tickets early, and we were able to see the movie already before it drops on the 11th. So, benefit of having Amazon Prime because we were able to see the movie 3 days earlier. All of us went to see it, and this is a no spoilers review right now. We're gonna drop an episode with spoilers and with our takes and talking about specific things in the movie. But like I said, I'm always gonna go first when I host. But was very excited for this movie, the build up, the hype, everything, and I believe it lived up to the hype. I really do. Had an awesome time at the movie. It was a fun movie to watch. And again, I saw a review of IGN gave it an 8, and I would give it a 9. I thought it was entertaining. I plan on seeing it again, but I just wanted to jump on the opportunity to see it earlier so we can do this review and just give our take on very quick on what we thought. And James Gunn did a great job casting in Guardians of the Galaxy. You see Peter Quill, and if you hear the people who were up for that role, he picked Chris Pratt, who is probably most famous for Parks and Recreation. I think his name was Andy in Parks and Recreation, and there goes the popcorn bucket, like you kind of predicted.
It's too expensive.
He picked Zoe Saldana for Gamora. You wouldn't believe who turned down that. He had Bradley Cooper as Rocket. Didn't see that one coming. And I saw an interview where he said he kind of fought for a lot of these guys so he can cast them. Michael Rooker as Yondu, Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer. He had to fight to get these people cast in his movie. And look, it worked out. And he had gotten let go from Disney. He wasn't even going to direct Guardians 3. And it just shows how talented he is, and the fact that the cast stuck by him and they spoke up for him, and Disney hired him back to complete the trilogy. They even threw in a Christmas episode with Kevin Bacon with Guardians of the Galaxy. And look, this guy was able to complete his trilogy, and now he's the head of DC Studios, and he delivered Superman for us. Another interesting take was he turned down a Superman movie a couple years ago to direct the Suicide Squad movie. But James Gunn, legit, awesome movie. Again, I plan on seeing it again. So I'm gonna go with Cole. Cole, you jumped on the Amazon Prime offer to get early tickets. Tell me what you thought about the experience last night.
I thought it was wonderful, man. Just getting the opportunity to see it before it drops was great. Thank you, Amazon Prime. It was a packed house, and what I also liked about the experience was that I was able to watch it with fans. So that as well give it the hype with the movie, and watching it with your fellow nerds as well. It's just a blast. I saw T-shirts of all DC all around. It was really, really cool.
So Puba, we all went to a 7:00 show, which I remember I asked each one of you guys what time was it, and it was 7:00. So I guess it was all 7:00 all the way around. Very limited. I couldn't get tried to look for IMAX. That wasn't happening. I had to drive 20 minutes away from where I normally go. But when I see it again, I plan to see it in IMAX. But I definitely just wanted to see the movie, and I'll see it again because, again, thought it was a great movie. Definitely rewatchable. A 9 for me. But before we go to Puba, out of 10, what do you give it, Cole?
I give it a solid 9. A hard 9.
Puba, how was it? 7 o'clock last night in the movie theater.
So I saw that 7. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
You,
7.5.
are you
And
joking or you're serious?
no, I'm being very serious. A
Okay.
7.5, solid 7.5. It's nature. It's not a mediocre movie. It's not the best Superman movie I've seen. So Superman 2, I think, is probably the best Superman movie I've seen. But a solid 7.5 and a great way to start the DCU in its film format. I appreciated everything that was there. It was the first time I saw this type of Superman. Superman actually showed up at our movie theater, and I'll be posting that on our Instagram so you guys can see that. Big fan of the Nerds podcast. Held the card up and everything, so you'll see that pretty soon. But no, listen, there were some misses, right? In the sense of the way you guys graded at a 9, that's nearly perfect, right? A 10 out of 10 is perfect. So you guys are giving it a 9. I thought there were some misses. I think there was a couple of things that could have been better overall, that would have made more sense. Crypto, who you just saw, he left because Superman whistled. So there were a couple of things that I think that could have that were pretty bad. There were some CGI things that I wasn't a big fan of. And again, you let me know if we're going to go in on this, but for the most part, a 7.5, solid 7.5 for me.
Yeah, no spoilers yet. We're just talking about the experience of seeing it early. We saw the movie extremely early, guys. This is coming out on Friday. Like, I was amped about that. I really was. I'm glad we all were able to get on because again, it was very limited. And we'll get into it in the other episode when we post the spoilers. We'll get into that. But Cole and I give it a 9, and Puba, our resident nitpicker, gives it a 7.5.
Listen, and just to kind of defend my 7.5 here, I always battle between my comic book fandom and my critic fandom, right? So in that debate, that's where I give it the 7.5, just based off that, right? Because I was conflicted on some of the things, and that's the reason why I'll say that.
Okay, I mean, look, you don't have to explain yourself. If that's what it is, that's what it is. We're not here to just, just to fanboy over it and say everything is great. And we're not always going to be like, oh yeah, the MCU's back every time they drop something. We're going to
DCU is back.
we're going to be critical of things, and I think we should be honest. We don't have to be critical, but we should be honest. And I think there's a difference there. We're not just looking to just say things for the sake of saying it. And I kid when I call Puba the resident nitpicker, but it's what he does, and it's good because we know that he's not gonna favor it just because it's a comic book movie. And I was guilty of doing that when these movies first started coming out. Just because I was seeing them on the screen, I thought they were all great. And when I look back on it now, that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. But yeah, Puba's definitely gonna be the hardest critic out of the three of us, out of us three. But I'm seeing it again. Even though Puba gave it a 7.5, he's seeing it again. I don't know if Cole's seeing it again, but to me, definitely worth the rewatch. No spoilers here, but not going to get into detail. But stay to the end of the absolute end credits. There's a mid credit scene and a post credit scene. Just so you guys don't think you're wasting your time, or you get up and you leave and you miss it. Puba had a popcorn bucket. Was there anything else they were selling?
Yes, they had a package deal. It was, I think, I want to say $54.99. It was 2 cups and the metal popcorn bucket, the big one. They had it was I almost say Jor-El, but Superman, Lex Luthor, and then the metal popcorn bucket for $55. And again, while that one was, I think, $50 as well, they still give you a large popcorn bucket with it.
Okay.
So and we threw out half of that bucket because I can't eat that much popcorn. But not listen, it's very cool if you love these movies to give it something nostalgic to take with you. And that's why I get it. It's the investment into the memory. That's why I get those popcorn buckets, and I think it's worth the dollar amount. But not everyone. I don't buy every popcorn bucket. Just that one. As you saw, me and Crypto are pretty cool. But it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I didn't see any of the stuff that kind of stood out for me to want to spend that type of money. What about you, Cole? Did you get anything? Any souvenirs from last night?
Yeah, absolutely. I ended up getting the cup. I like to get the cups for sure. I got the cup with the cape on it, and you're able to get either Crypto, the emblem, or Superman. I got Crypto on my cup, and the metal cup, the metal popcorn that case that Pooba was talking about was really cool. It was an old school stand for newspapers, and then you pull it down, and on the cover you'll have the Daily Planet, and it'll have Superman, but you can also take it out, flip it around, and you'll have Crypto on that side as well.
So
It was really
that
cool.
one sounds cool. That one sounds cool. How much was that? $60?
Yes, $59.99.
Oh, really? Oh, I just guessed.
Nailed it. Dime.
That is. I mean, again, like Pooba said, it's all about the memories. Pooba has a memory. You have a memory for when you saw Superman early in the movies. Then the movie that kicks off James Gunn's DCU. But listen, I was excited to see the movie. I'm still excited because I'm going to see it again. I'm excited to talk about the spoilers and really take a deep dive into this movie with my bros. So for Cole, for Pooba, this is our non-spoiler review, just giving you our thoughts on the movie as a whole with no specifics, and we will return.
The worst episode ever.